Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from the Galaxy International Convention Center here in Macau, China. This is Road to the Asian Games 2022 Arena of Valor Asian Games version competition. I'm your caster for today, Isaac Peña.
Hello guys, I'm Tian Ying for today. Your caster.
This
Very
competition
nice
is jointly organized by the Olympic Council of Asia and the Asian Electronic Esports Federation, operated by Digital Esports Asia and undertaken by Neo TV. First of all, thanks to our prestige sponsor Audi Q4 e-tron strong support to the RDAG tournament. Special thanks to iQ11, the official mobile game equipment of the RDAG, the professional choice to empower victory. Embrace the thrill of control.
Thank you to the official supporter Omen, New Omen 16 New Journey to Roads to Asian Games 2022. Thank you to official supporter Outoful M6, official gaming chair, partner of the Roads to Asian Games, be your own hero. Thank you to official supporter East Rock for their support. And at the same time, we would like also to thank to our official broadcasting platforms, Bilibili, Huya Live, Douyu Live, Kuaishou Games, Migu Video, Channels, Tencent Video, Weibo, Xiaohongshu, YouTube, and Twitch for their support. So very nice to be here. We have been looking forward to this kind of tournament for a long time.
Yes, it's been a while.
Yes.
It's been a while. We've been really looking forward for this. It's been what, years? A little bit more?
Almost 1 year, yeah, I would say.
Oh my gosh, and finally we are here together with 16 teams from different countries and regions that they're going to be battling in our digital platform, just trying their best to get the best result possible in these 6 days.
So we will have like 4 regional groups in our tournament, and out of 16 teams from the 16 countries and regions, of course. And of course, like out of the 5 regions in Asia, we will have like South Asia and West Asia. They will be merged into one single major competition region, while the remaining regions will compete individually.
Yes, exactly. Each region is going to have at least 3 teams, but Southeast Asia, with a total of 7 teams, is going to be the biggest group that we're going to have.
So, to conclude, 16 teams together, but they're going to be confronting each other like within the group. So you're only going to be battling and play against each other teams in your own group. This is one very interesting fact.
Today's matchups, as you can see on the screen, we're first going to start with Team Jordan against Team Sri Lanka, and Team Nepal against Team Jordan right after that.
So being the very first team to kick up one tournament, this kind of experience is super excited.
Oh, right? That's got to be like a lot of nerves right now over there in the game, right? Like right now the players got to be like extremely stressed because just starting the whole thing, right? Like it is already a very big platform, and starting the whole competition, game 1, wow, your fingers are still very stiff, I can imagine.
So let's take a look at the starting lineups. Like, you have been like bump into them in the arena, right?
Yes.
Before everything got started.
Yes,
so
before everything started, I've already just met with the players. I saw some of them in the hotel, and they're really nice people.
Of course.
Yeah, like they're really nice people. Like from Team Jordan, we're going to have Bawadi, Abu Youssef, Hagar, and
let's see their opponents. From Sri Lanka, we have Athena, we have Izzy, we have Mars, we have Ukizi, and we have Nikki.
Yes, we're going to have these are going to be the first players that they're going to step on our arena, just to see who's going to take the first point, right? How is that going to work?
I mean, we're playing at a BO3 format, so basically we're going to see a maximum number of the game. For one match, for one single competition will be 3. So whoever got the 2 points earlier, then your opponent will be the winner. So 1 point will be awarded to the winner, and 0 points will be given to the whoever got lost.
So the most that we're going to have in one game is going to be 3 games.
Yes.
If the winner of the first one is the same winner as the second one, then there's not going to be a third game, right? And just directly is going to be the winner of this match, and it's going to be taking 1 point. This 1 point is going to be vital because this is going to affect directly their rankings and their seedings in this coming Asian Games.
Yes, so the whole basic and the whole results of the competition we will be witnessing for at least like 6 days throughout 1 week. So the result of the competition will determine the final seeding for draw into the 19th Asian Game. So if you really want to bring your entire team, bring honor to have a very wonderful beginning to the 19th like Asian Games, you'd better like perform the best version of you.
Of course. And that's one of the reasons why these 6 days are going to be so important.
Yes.
These 6 days are going to be important because whatever that you do right now is going to affect this historical moment that is coming in just some months ahead of us, right? And then the best performance that you have right now, the better chances you have to have a very good seeding and a very good ranking in the upcoming games.
You know, one more interesting thing is that throughout the whole tournament in 1 year, we always saw those like double robbing BO5, but for today we're gonna see the BO3 single robbing, which means that you only have one chance to face your enemy, to face your opponent, right?
Yes.
So you have to work on that. You only have one chance to dig into their draft, to dig into their gaming styles. You never got the second chance to trying to fight back.
The big challenge about BO3 is just the fact that the ban and pick part is going to be crucial. Right? It's not that much about the hero pools anymore, but it's just going to be the ban and pick. How you can have the best pick and best selection of the heroes that you want at the right moment just for that first game.
So I think our players are ready for today's matchups. Let's see what kind of draft, what kind of composition they have been prepared at working on for the last few days. And yeah, look at their facial expression. I think they're fully relaxed for today's matchups, right?
Oh, come on. I've been doing this for a while. And people smiling and people just acting all relaxed, believe me, that's just a strategy that you tell yourself just to calm down. You're just telling yourself, you know what? Breathe. I have to get this done. And just by smiling and just talking to your friends before the game starts, that's how the players just really get into that mindset.
Now we're looking at the players representing their own teams. From Team Sri Lanka, we have Athena as the top laner, and hopefully that we have a lot of very interesting heroes like included in our version. So yeah, I was really curious about the composition, what kind of like hero groups or like double pairs they will have, and they will like present it to us together.
It's a very important thing for us to just start explaining to all of those of you who are completely new to esports, and for all of you that are new to the game. The composition or the choice of heroes that you have at the beginning of the game is going to define the kind of strategy or the kind of game style that you're going to have throughout the whole game, right? So it's important that not only the synergy between you and your teammates need to be on point, but at the same time, the synergy between the heroes is something important that not only the players but the coaches need to think about.
Of course. So in this time for Arena of Valor Asian Games version, we have in total 63 heroes included in our version that they're currently playing. But like we have 5 different roles. We're talking about 3 different lanes, including one more jungle. So we have like confronting lane. So we can speak like firstly confronting lane. We have different types of, we have tanks, we have warriors. They have different amount of the HP initially. So basically you will like simply assume that if you are playing a tank, you will have less money, you will have less gold, but you are supposed to be the frontliner to represent your own teams.
So your job is just to receive the damage from everyone, right?
Like all the damage.
You're the shield. You
course.
need to stand at the front and then really receive that damage. So you can create a good option for not only the assassins, but for the archers in the back, right?
You know, however, but if you choose a warrior, like completely different, like completely opposite. So your warrior, you may not stand on the front line. You will hide your vision and trying to get to the backliners. You're more like an assassin, I would say.
So your job would be mostly just to ambush, right? Just to kind of like hide and wait for the right moment, just to use critical damage, come in and just take down the opponents.
That's 2 types from the top laners, right? And speaking of the middle lane, we will have those mages. The mages have different types. We have a very long range mages who clean the super minions, minions really quickly and make the most important thing is to do the rotations. You can either choose to the top side of the map or the bottom side of the map.
Yes.
But the other type will be the assassin. I like that very much. For example, Roz will be very interesting hero.
I predict that we're going to have Raz in every single game during these 6 days.
I think so too.
Because that hero right now under this version is so OP that Raz is going to take the spotlight a lot. One of the things that I really like about mages is just the area of effect. I like a lot mages that have a very big area of effect, and that whenever that they use their abilities, not only are going to target one enemy, but they can target multiple enemies.
Yes, so I think we have covered a lot of introduction of the hero that might be choice or chosen in our actual game. So speaking aside, let's directly jump into the very first game.
Let's jump into the first game. We're already in the ban part of our ban and pick, right?
Wow, that's super cool. Like GM Lum together at the same time or ban away.
Those two assassins, those two junglers are really to be afraid of. Like you need to ban them or you need to take them. And Team Sri Lanka just have a very, very, very strong strategy.
Yes.
Very clear. No assassins around here.
Restrict your performance. You don't need this kind of hero to appear in this one game. And on the other side, speaking of Roz, Roz will be eliminated and taken away from the side of Team Jordan.
So Team Jordan is going to take Roz, is going to take Tung Huang as well.
Yep.
Tung Huang, that is one of the strong supports, right? Strong initiation, can completely just focus his damage into one hero and then just take that hero out of the formula early in the game fight.
So after the 6th bans, the very first hero that is going to be picked will be Angela.
Angela.
Interesting.
Burst damage. Think about Angela, just about that. Like, you need to know exactly where Angela's position is going to be. If you don't know where Angela is, no one is going to be able to move freely through the valley.
Like for me, Angela will have that amount of the damage after he gets to level 4. So very early bursting damage. And one more surprise will be the choice of Sima Yi.
Sima Yi, Angela, and Lian Po. So Sima Yi, this hero, can act as not only a mid laner, but in this strat, is going to be acting completely as a jungler.
I mean, from the very first 3 picks from the Team Sri Lanka, I would say they are planning on getting strategy to play those very early game compositions, right? You can already see the explosive, very huge amount of the bursting damage from the heroes that they pick. And on the other side, I think Team Jordan are choosing to go to a complete different path. They're choosing Huang Zhong, they're choosing Lu Bu, which are those kind of heroes we will call late game heroes.
Yes.
So their main purpose are completely different.
No, Team Jordan is going to be playing for the late game,
yep.
But at the same time, they choose Boiler as their support, right? And we know that one of Boiler's skills can allow teammates just to farm a little bit faster by an extra gold that it can provide.
So the passive from Boiler will be he will be offering extra gold to the nearest hero standing side by him. So which means that Team Jordan is really trying to speed up the whole farming situation for Huang Zhong, trying to get to their best situation at around middle game. But you can see the huge, very good initiation coming from their opponents too. Where's the Lomber? Where's the Lian Po? This kind of 2 tanks, adding together, they will create a huge AOV damage and it initiates those.
Talking a little bit about the first stages of the game, whenever that we're going to be on the laning phase of it. Lupan number 7 against Huang Zhong. That's going to be the matchup that we're going to have in the farming lane. What can you predict out of that?
I don't know. Let's see from the actual games. But I would say the composition is really interesting, out of my expectations for these kind of games and teams. Let's see their performance.
All right, let's see. The game is going to start. We can see a rotation, a 2v1 here in the middle lane. Angela is going to try to clean the wave and try to support back on Sima Yi, who's going to start with the blue. We can see an early invasion by
both teams, right?
Yes.
They're trying to make this kind of sneaky moves into the jungle because they clean this kind of buffs and the animals from the jungle really, really fast. Team Sri Lanka is trying to get more in the jungles. Red buff.
Look at that. Lipu is going to spot that and is going to be successful. Team Sri Lanka coming in and taking the red buff out of them.
I think the rotation is really nice. They gather around in their opponent's jungle and trying to steal this red buff away. And let's see
All right,
how
look
Team
at
Jordan's
that.
planning to do.
Abu Youssef is going to respond to that with coming in for the red buff as well. Sima Yi is not going to be part of this little scrimmage. It's going to be a 4 against 2. Team Sri Lanka is going to be stunned. Mars is going to be stunned. And then Jordan is going to take, Team Jordan is going to take that red buff.
I like this kind of rotation because we can see that, like Sri Lanka, the Team Jordan, like Lubu, have the vision that someone is like trying to steal this red buff away from our jungle. So he that immediately tell his teammates. So that's a reason why Team Jordan just suddenly rush into the red buff as well.
Oh, look at that. It's going to be Nikki, the one that is going to be stunned. He used his flash, and it's going to be the first takedown is going to be for Team Sri Lanka.
Wow.
91% of damage taken there by Lumber.
And you can see the initiation, right? So the initiation skills coming from Lumber together with the hero that like Athena is playing, Lampo, will be very huge.
That was really nice movement by Nikki, right? Everyone thought that Nikki was going to fall, but then after that, using his dash, takes a little bit distance. Everyone uses their abilities on him, and at the end of the day, they were at the end victorious.
I think this early game skirmish is shining brightly.
One more time!
Wow,
Look
to
at
Team
that!
Sri Lanka.
We talked about Angela and the pick from Team Sri Lanka. They had a very clear idea, the burst damage. Waiting in the bush, using the fireball, the blazing brilliance, completely shredding down the HP bar.
I think like Team Jordan, starting from now on, they have to communicate like faster.
Yes.
So if you lose vision of this Angela or Easy Sima Yi, you need to tell your teammates, or otherwise this Huangjong will be facing a lot of danger.
Right now, Mars is being vital for Team Sri Lanka to have already building a almost 1,000 gold lead in only 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
Mars is being vital for Team Sri Lanka.
I think Team Sri Lanka is playing this game really, really well. They have the composition. They know exactly what they need to do. Their early game rotation is extremely good from Angela. We can see Mars like finish the like mid lane really, really fast, and then with no hesitation rush to the bottom lane.
Sure, and we talked at the beginning about how Team Jordan is going to need a lot of time for them to really build up their items, to really try to start getting the goal that they need. And if Team Sri Lanka keep playing at this pace, doesn't look good for Team Jordan.
Again, they meet each other.
Time, JCC comes in, is going to be respawning one more time. Hagar is going to move away, but he's still going to fall. It's going to be a 2-0 trade for Team Sri Lanka.
Look at the ultimate, the abilities. They are just tightly connected with one another. Once Athena finds a chance, knock up the enemy, and Mars will be followed using the ultimate. The bursting damage cannot be that just simply handled for Team Jordan.
Team Jordan needs to walk back and try to replete, because right now, if they keep playing like this, Team Sri Lanka is going to snowball extremely quickly. And by 6 to 7 minutes of the game, if they keep at this pace, bad news are just coming at the future of Team Jordan.
You can see the confidence, right? After they have finished the whole draft, you can see the confidence from Team Sri Lanka. They know exactly what they can do the best in the early game. They choose this kind of composition, and it's working really, really well. So from now on, I think Team Jordan, the best news for them is trying to make sure they know exactly where this Angela is and trying to avoid like step one more closer to your turrets. Wow, another bursting damage.
One more time, Mars comes in with the fireball, stunning down Hagar. And look at that, Nikki keeps just sucking in damage again and again and again.
Have a user trying his best to change the kill.
Wow. Rampage is going to be a 1-to-1 trade over there in the jungle for Team Sri Lanka.
This is one very good news for Team Jordan. They finally have their very first takedown.
And that's important for us to know, right? Like the one thing that you need in this game is just to take your first one. You take the first takedown, and that the confidence of your team starts building, starts growing step by step. They need to just use this momentum and see what they can do. They already lost a turret in their farming lane. So they need to start thinking about how to change their strategy.
From now on, we can see that Huanzhong, including the spoiler, this pair, they're moving together. This is one good news. But yeah, unfortunately, they have already lost the very first turret on the bottom lane, which means that their movement, their room to make rotation will be highly restricted.
It is important for us to understand that in the moment that you lose a turret, then people need to start sharing gold. And sharing gold is going to slow down the whole team's composition.
Wow.
All the abilities coming down on Bawadi that uses his ultimate to run away and at the same time takes one person with him, 1-0 trade for them.
Well, this is really cool. Like, it's a 1 versus 5, right?
Yeah.
But finally, at the result, they exchanged one more takedowns to their opponent. That's a good news. Like, Team Jordan is finally finding the rhythm. I will understand they are basically, I think they are a little bit nervous at the very first 5 minutes. And right now, after gaining the very first takedown to their entire team, they are starting to building up. They are starting to use Zhou fire to get more vision.
Use the momentum. Look at that. The Blazing Brilliance comes in one more time, but he's going to respawn. Put on air. One more time. Abu Yusef is going to stand up. Jin is going to proc his ultimate. It's going to push back the whole Sri Lanka's team.
So a lot of flashes are being used for this little skirmish because like Team Jordan want to go deeper into the jungle, but it turned out Team Sri Lanka is fully ready, fully prepared for this kind of team fight, I would say.
Of course, did you pay attention to the fact that Team Sri Lanka lost their mid lane turret when they were scrimmaging against Lupu? Not only they lost the person there, but they lost the mid turret, which is critical, is very, very vital in this game.
Because as a mage, we can see the whole rhythm is kind of controlled by Angela's movement, right?
Yeah.
So wherever Angela goes, we can see they are picking up those random skirmish happen on the bottom side of the map, and they really did it. They have like 2 kills over to Jin, over to Huanzhong. So starting from now on, because they are losing the very first turret in the mid lane, which means that their room to make rotation will be highly restricted as well. So the river vision, they really need to send someone, the frontliner, maybe Lumber, maybe Lampo, to trying to be responsible for this river vision.
Yes, exactly. Athena's role is going to start becoming a lot more important in this game as well. Look at Athena moving over there to the confronting lane, doing the split push, just pushing in the minion wave.
All right, Kaiser is trying to steal some opportunities, right, to Team Jordan, but unfortunately,
his
no
ultimate was not
up.
enough.
There's no following up damage.
His ultimate was not enough over there, and Abu Yusef is going to have to go back to his base.
So
Sri Lanka right now trying to control the behemoth.
Tyrant has been
Takes control of it, and right now they're going to have an attack buff for them. One more time, look at that. But what is so tanky? Everyone just focuses their abilities on him, and Bawadi still is able to escape.
But one good news for Team Jordan is that they have Zhou. So as long as this Zhou stays alive, this mage stays alive, they will have enough ability, I would say, to trying to clean the minions. You need the minions. It either be the very like the original minions or super minions to take down the turrets. So, like, Hagar really needs to stay alive for the entire game.
Hagar needs to stay there. As long as Hagar is on, at the same time that Jin is on, the high ground is going to be safe.
Yep. Right now, I think both teams need to calm down for a little bit because they're waiting for the 10 minutes, which means that our Overlord and Tyrants are ready.
Yes, exactly. Our Overlord and the Behemoth are going to be enhanced right now, which means that they're going to give you an even better buff. They're going to give you an even better advantage. So these are going to be the key objectives that you're going to start seeing after the 10 minutes.
Oh, they're exchanging the neutral objectives. One Team Jordan have the Overlord on the other side. Team Sri Lanka will have this Behemoth in return.
I like the idea that Team Jordan went for the Overlord in this one. They can have control of the vision just by using the vanguards that they're going to come into the battlefield.
From my perspective, I think both teams really like to engage into team fights, right? So you better use this kind of vanguard to help you clean the ways for you, so you can rush, maybe find a chance to engage into a 5 versus 5 or better, even better, like 5 versus 4. Because someone needs to be standing to trying to clean the wave. For example, Lianpo is trying to clean the wave on the top. This will be the chance for Team Jordan to pick up a skirmish. And right now they're trying to grab the chance.
4v1, Athene is going to be spotted, but Wad is going to be the one that is going to try to engage on him, but Athene is able to escape. Abu Youssef over here on the farming lane, one more time trying to push in the wave, but Sima trying to take him in a 1v1.
You know, I really like the idea that Team Jordan is trying to use the Vanguards, use the minions to slow the time. It's trying to scale to the late game will, which they will have those kind of very good amount of the damage from Huangzhong.
Yes, exactly. Team Sri Lanka had the advantage in the early game, but right now as we're moving into the 12 minutes mark, you start seeing that the scales are kind of like leveling a little bit more and tilting in sometimes the side for Team Jordan.
I think the clock is taken from Team Sri Lanka because they're losing their early game advantages as the time goes by. It's 12 minutes till now, and Sri Lanka are losing the rhythm because they're facing a dilemma because they have to clean the waves.
Yes.
But if they choose to clean the wave, they're wasting their time.
Yeah, of course. That's why I believe that the choice for Team Jordan to go for the Overlord was a correct one.
Yeah.
They did not have to fight Team Sri Lanka as they had the Behemoth's buff. But right now that the Behemoth's buff is already gone, Team Jordan has the complete vision, complete control of the map.
Wow, this is a turning point for the match. Let's see how many turrets like Team Jordan can get to their side.
Oh, Falling God is going to come in. Right now it's going to be Sima the one that's going to try to target Jin, but Jin is still standing, dealing damage. Athene is going to suck on all of it. No one is going to fall, but look at how healthy Team Jordan is, taking 2 turrets, the mid lane and the top lane.
Yeah, I think the standing point from Team Jordan is really good because once they receive the signal that Team Sri Lanka want to surround, want to kill Jin, they finally form a basically a circle round, which means that the Willow will have the actual life using the ultimate, trying to provide a healthier environment for Huangzhong to stay alive. And we're looking at Luibu's ultimate, trying to protect Huangzhong as well.
During the Ban and Pick, we talked about the option of Boiler in this composition. We talked about how Boiler was going to allow Jin in that Huangzhong just to try to farm a little bit faster, right, to speed up their evolution. But at the same time, as the late game comes in, Boiler's ultimate allows you one more life. You can respawn on the spot immediately after your HP bar just go to 0.
I think from now on, Team Sri Lanka is trying their best, trying to figure out what kind of way they can finally get closer to Huangzhong. This is very important.
Sima is a good option, but not the best in terms of assassins that you could have chosen. Look at that, Jin in a very good position, dealing damage right and left. There's going to be 4 people from Team Sri Lanka that they're going to fall.
Red team.
No one can get the hold of Jin, and right now it's going to be Lupan number 7, the one that's going to be targeted by 3 people. We've got minions in mid lane, minions down in the bottom lane, and this might be game for Team Jordan.
This will definitely be the end of the game 1 because they will need extra 20 seconds to revive again, but Team Jordan are facing entire minions on the bottom side of the map. Finally, the very first crystal getting taken down.
And this is going to be game for Team Jordan. Congratulations on your first victory. That's going to be 1 point for them in this game, right? Let's wait and see if they can still take the second victory and then just take us in as a 2-0.
Because we're playing a BO3.
Yes.
So basically, if you win the very first match of the BO3, you're going to be facing the match point for your team. A very, very good starting point. And not to mention, they're facing a lot of problems in the early game. It's really nice of them that they finally found out the right rhythm, what they should be doing inside the game. So one more thing, I think the very first takedown to their team will be very, very important from Kaiser, right?
We talked about that, right?
Confidence.
Just a little bit of confidence. Believe it or not, even though these are professional athletes, for everyone that is at home, in the moment that you have the nerves over there, your dexterity is just going to fall. And right now, your fingers are just going to feel so stiff at the beginning of the game. So with some breathing and then just calming down a little bit, they were able just to turn the tables and take this victory.
I think like the team fights are good,
Yes.
but the very last one we are seeing like Lianpo wanted to initiate so badly,
Yes.
but Lumber is not ready. So their combo chains are not right there, right?
Yes.
So they need to connect with one another like closely. We are assumed to see those combo chains of the initiation go together so
Yes.
that you will be creating, you'll have finally have the chance to creating some problems to Huangzhong. But they're just simply like Lianpo going one and getting like the HP is getting really low and
Yeah.
Lumber comes in. You really need to focus one more.
The control chains were not dense enough. There were a little bit of time gaps in between the abilities. At the beginning of the game, when we were still in this laning stage of the game, when it came down to just ambushing from the bush, Angela was doing such a great job, right?
course.
And Lumber was coming in as well, and they were able to take down multiple people. But when it came down to the big 5v5 battles, it didn't look like they were really that accurate, as accurate as the early game.
I think like Team Sri Lanka, they're really feeling themselves in the early game. They're
Yeah.
making those very efficient like rotation from the mid lane to the farming lane. They're making sure that Huangzhong is not farming up that well.
pressure.
And they did it. I mean, the very first 5 minutes from Team Sri Lanka, I think it's so good. And they really don't need to change anything. If they choose in the future games, like future, they'll definitely use this kind of composition again. I think.
Yeah.
I think the very early 5-game arrangements and the rotations are so good, but they really need to focus on what they should be doing in the middle phase of the game. So if you have your hands on the behemoth, Dark Behemoth,
Yeah.
for example, you will trying to find some chances to engage because you know you're the early and mid-game composition.
Yeah.
You need to do the right thing at the right moment.
Like, if you have an advantage in the early game, you cannot just see that advantage just vanish in the mid game.
Yeah.
Like if you have 1,500 advantage in the first 5 minutes of the game, how do you snowball that? That's what the teams need to be thinking about. And if you chose such a strong early game combo, like the Team Sri Lanka just did, try to end the game early.
Of course.
Do not let the game go into the 15, 16 minutes of it, because then your advantage and your strong part of the game just completely vanishes.
You know, in Arena of Valor Asian Games version, there's
Yeah.
a one term we usually say is that it's about like give and take.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are facing, you're definitely going to be facing those vanguards rushing into your turrets. Your opponent is trying to get the overlord, trying to maximize the and utilize
Yeah.
the wave and the super minions. But the fun fact is that you have to give something up and get something in return. If you're facing the kind of wave pressure, my suggestion is you may just give up one wave. Maybe you're losing 1 or 2 turrets, but you can gather around and trying to steal and trying to grab some chances and trying to force into the team fights where you will have like 5 members, but your opponent maybe they'll have only 3 or 4.
It
and
is a
that will be
strategy
your
game.
chance.
It is a strategy game. We need to see it as what it is. In order to push somewhere, you need to let go of some other position. So thinking about that, I think that analyzing Team Jordan's composition, even if Team Sri Lanka would have pushed all the way until the high ground, I believe that having Toyu and having Huangzhong would have defended that high ground so well. So if you analyze Team Jordan from the composition, now looking retrospective to what they did during the game, a very solid performance.
I think it's a strategic like decision when it comes to formation. So if like normally we will assume that if you want to push a lane, the 1-3-1 formation will be used from your opponent, right? So which means that you will have your ability if you use a 5-0 formation, you hide in the bush somewhere, you hide your vision, and if you see your opponents maybe doing solo, getting the wave, like pushing towards your turrets, that will be your chance. And once you find it, you engage in a successful team fights, you will have your turn. You will have your, rhythm back. Yeah.
Yes, finding your own rhythm. That's something that we're going to be talking about during these 6 days. We're going to have so many different games in these 6 games. And I'm completely sure that we're going to have multiple different strategies coming out from all the different teams, right? From what I just saw in this first game, Team Jordan, Team Sri Lanka, fighters.
Yep.
They just love fighting.
And you know, like these two teams, Team Jordan and Team Sri Lanka, they definitely have different gaming styles. It's very obvious, like from the draft, the very first teams, we can see that like Team Sri Lanka love to choose those kind of heroes who will be having those bursting damage initially in the early game. And like Team Jordan is playing this like more stable. They're choosing the late game insurance heroes, right?
Well, that comes down to what the coaches have been practicing and what their strategy is going to be for these 6 days.
Yeah, this will be the highlights. We can see that in early game, like Team Sri Lanka is getting the 7-0 advantages.
It was such a
really
great
huge
opening. It was an extremely good opening. I believe that Team Sri Lanka came with a very clear game plan for the first 2-3 minutes. If you see, like, everything was going well. But in this moment, the Raiju Slam comes in and he's going to be wide. Allows Jin to proc his ultimate and the damage. Look at Jin with complete HP bar. No one could even get a little touch on him.
And let's see the game data. So initially, we're seeing a huge gap between the two teams, but something magically happened in the middle game. So that will be the turning point for Team Jordan. And magically, they used a kind of late game composition, but actually only takes around 15 minutes, 13 minutes to finish the game.
I believe that in 15 minutes when this game, if it would have kept moving forward, it was still going to be for Team Jordan.
All right. Our Audi Super 8 player for this particular match will be Lubu player.
It's going to be Bawadi.
Bawadi.
Mahmoud Bawadi from Team Jordan is going to take that first Audi Super 8 player of our competition. Congratulations to you, Bawadi.
Killing participation 88%. That's very high, which means that they're performing very good team fights, right?
Yeah, no, and at the same time, when you think about this, with his hero, he was ganked multiple times by 4 or 5 players at the same time, and he was always able to survive.
Remember the skirmish happened on the confronting lane where the 5 of the opponents are trying to get this takedown onto Lubu, but you use the ultimate, using the flash, magically stay alive, and getting one more takedown.
A lot of their abilities were gone, and they just let their mid lane turret go. If you let your mid lane turret go, that opens the doors to your resources for your opponents. Then you do not have that ability just to protect your lane and have safe passage in between your jungles. No, you just need to let doors open, your opponents come in, and then you start becoming a lot of more passive.
I really appreciate the gaming style from like Bawadi, because like if you rewind for a little bit, you will see that he's using the ultimate from Lubu as a way to absorb the damage, to absorb the upcoming damage. So normally we would just simply assume that Lubu will use the ultimate trying to engage, trying to initiate, but like he's using this kind of like to protect their archer, to make sure that Huangzhong can do whatever they want to do at the back line of their entire team.
That was really good. Another different way how to use this Lubu. The mechanics of this hero are super interesting. It deals real damage, which in this game, it is something that could be a complete game changer.
Yeah, this is what makes Arena of Valor Asian game version really interesting, is that you do not have a fixed answer for each heroes. You can choose to play at different kind of gaming styles. Like Lubu, you can play as a warrior who is really aggressive. You use the ultimate trying to initiate it all the time. But on the other hand, you can also use this kind of hero to protect your backliners, all according to the draft and the composition you finally formed for your own team.
The heroes allow us just to have different styles of how to use them. But at the same time, it comes down to the players, right? Just their understanding of those heroes. There are several heroes in here that they could be played as tanks. They could be played as junglers. They could actually be played in both of them. Sumai is used as an assassin in this composition, but I've seen Sumai just being played as a mid laner as well.
Yeah, and I think I still like remember they have their ban places to Xiaohojun. So this is another very interesting heroes in our game, because like Xiaohojun can be a very solid and very tanky hero as a frontliner, but also you can use Xiaohojun as a jungler. It will accelerate early game pace. So yeah, I mean, this is a game about creativity, right? You need to form a better composition for your own team. Each team, 5 players adding together and 1 more coach, you will find yourself like you will have those very good chemistry when using different types of the heroes in a composition. You just need to find the right answer.
And this is Road to Asian Games 2022. You come here, you have 6 days just to learn and to try to get the scrimmages that you need, that practice that is going to polish the team that you're going to be bringing to the Asian Games in Hangzhou this year.
Road to Asian Games 2022. We have in total 6 days to get to know our teams, our players, how they want to perform, what will be their gaming styles and strategy. And from the very first match, I think we have a deeper understanding to Team Jordan, Team Sri Lanka for a little bit. Right?
I want to see the second game.
Me too.
Just to check out if it is going to be due to their strategy.
Well,
they
the
were
same.
so aggressive, or are they able just to show us a little bit more of what they have in there? Maybe a little bit more composure, maybe a little bit less pace at the beginning.
Maybe for this game, like Team Sri Lanka will show us a complete opposite gaming styles. Because we have in total 63 heroes, you can come up a lot of combos, a lot of very good compositions for today's match. So yeah, let's see, wait and see. Looking forward to what kind of very good drop they're going to be performing to us.
I always like thinking of the coaches because those are the people that make most of the decisions before the game. If you're a coach, do you want to really show all your tools, all your strats in here? Or do you want to just kind of like hide something?
I don't think so. You know, you need the coach to prepare the strategy.
Yes.
And for the very first day, we're going to have 6 days of the matches. You don't want to show everything to the possible opponents, right? If you succeed in this kind of composition, for example, for Team Jordan, you use Huang Zhen, you use the Boiler together to get the very first victory to your team, maybe just stick to the original plan and trying to do whatever you can do in the very first game. And let's see the bans here. A lot of changes are happening right now.
Yeah,
right?
a lot of different heroes are being banned. Team Sri Lanka is going to be banning Zhou, Kaiser, and Liu Hu.
Initiation and S2, a very strong jungler in the jungle, Kaiser. And on the other side, like Team Jordan is choosing to take away Xia Xiaoxiaoden and Donghuang. Donghuang say the same.
That opens options for both sides to get their hands on Lam and Jing, right? If they are able to get on Lam and Jing, that's going to be really nice for them, as these two are the top tier junglers, assassins in this version.
Like the Boiler will stay the same for Team Jordan because they really like the protection provided by the ultimate. It will give extra life to the Archer. But like the final Archer choices is quite interesting. Gong Sun Li instead of Huang Zhong.
Gong Sun Li instead of Huang Zhong. That's, again, maybe what they want is just to try different things, right? Like Gong Sun Li compared to Huang Zhong is going to have a lot more mobility.
Of course.
It's going to allow her just to be able in the lane stages of the game. You have a little bit more freedom, right? A little bit more independence.
Oh, this is completely different, but let's see. Team Sri Lanka, Lam, Zhang Fei, and Angela. So Zhang Fei, good initiation and good protection to the backline, I would say. And Angela stayed the same, so they really need the bursting damage initially after Angela gets to level 4. And Kali is chosen from the side of Team Jordan. And yeah, this will be a very good mages when it comes to compare the speed of the cleaning of the waves, right? So you have the wave priority, and what really matters is that after the cleaning the wave, what will be the destination you want to go? The top side, the bottom side, really according. We have to find the answers in the actual game.
It allows you a priority in the decision making, right? Like, because after you clean the wave, you're able just to move somewhere else and try to build the numbers game. You can try to build a superiority either in the confronting lane or in the farming lane.
Of course.
I imagine that Hagar is going to be moving a lot to the farming lane, because in the confronting lane, Thane against Bitesy, I would put my money on Thane every single day. Every single day.
Like, Ving is really, really tanky. And in this current meta, he will have those bursting damage using the ultimate. And he also have a lot of skills trying to initiate a very good initiation method from the side of Team Jordan. And they also have the boiler. But I think the late game damage is not that stable and not that consistent from the side of whoever picks Gong Sun Li, right? Because Gong Sun Li, not like Huang Zhong. Huang Zhong, you can rely on this hero in the late game. Whenever you're facing problem, the only goal for your entire team is that, we will find some chances trying to scale, trying to solve this game to the late game, and we will win because we have a huge AOE damage, we have a huge amount of damage in the late game. But Gong Sun Li does not work in that way. Like Gong Sun Li, you need to perform better during the laning up phases. So the early game and the mid game will be quite essential to Team Jordan.
All right, let's see what Jin can do in this matchup that's going to have against Kiwi on that Sun Shanxiang. Sun Shanxiang and Zhang Fei, a very solid combo that we can see right down there in the bottom lane. Let's see what this game is going to bring. This is going to be our game 2 in between Team Jordan and Team Sri Lanka. Team Sri Lanka that is going to be on the blue side and Team Jordan on the red.
You know, even though like Sri Lanka changes the final decision for the top lane and the support, but they work in the same mechanisms, right? They are both huge initiation heroes like Bai Qi and Zhang Fei. So let's see whether they can do better during the team fight.
I hope so. Look at that. Jin proccing the Anger of the Land immediately. Forces Kiwi under the turret. And that River Sprite is going to go to Team Jordan.
This one good advantage because like the Anger of the Land have a shorter cooldown time comparing with Flash, which will be like 90 seconds, and Fast will be 120 seconds, which means that this Gong Sun Li will still give a lot of stress to Kiwi.
The rotation, look at that. Team Jordan moving down, but Nikki is going to spot them as they were coming on the way. You can see that Team Jordan right now being a little bit more careful with their rotations in the early game. They know already what Mars can do on that Angela.
You know, if like Gong Sun Li had the assistant from Boiler, and one more thing, he is getting to 2 lanes of the minions at the same time, which means that the Gong Sun Li will be extremely wealthy during the middle game.
And right now what they're doing is just sharing the gold. Athena being focus damage from Team Jordan is going to send Athena back to base, and that's going to be the first takedown of the game.
All right. Team Jordan is opening up this game with a very good advantages, I would say.
Rotation down.
Teleportation.
Gets eyes on Nikki that still does not have his ultimate available since he's still level 3. Look at the rotation. It's going to be Vian, Jin, and Hagar, the ones that are going to be moving mid lane to bottom lane to mid lane. The 3 of them together. Very difficult for Mars right now just to engage.
Your Team Sri Lanka really need to stop like Team Jordan to continuously letting this Gong Sun Li have 2 lanes of the gold.
Yes. But how do you do that right now with the composition that right now Team Jordan has? They have an advantage with cleaning the wave that it just gives them complete control of the whole map.
You know, the rotation from Team Jordan is like writing letters on the paper. It's really clear that they're rotating from the top, from the bottom to the mid all the time.
Yes.
So you can try to ambush some members from your team, trying to engage immediately. Maybe they can let Athena to the bottom side of the map and trying to engage.
A rotation in between the two of them.
You're just simply letting your opponents going from the mid to the bottom, getting the gold all the time. Not a very good
Something needs to be done. Look at that. Abu Youssef is going to be already in the bush, putting pressure on Mars. Mars spots him, and he decides to move back.
You have to respond.
It's going to join the party over here in the bottom lane.
Team Sri Lanka is trying whatever they can do. And Zhang Fei is getting to level 4, which means that he will have the ultimate, a very good initiation skills from Team Sri Lanka.
Well, Abu Youssef already on level 7 has at least 2 levels difference advantage compared to Kiwi. Kiwi right now needs to be extremely careful. Look at that, 4 people all the way here. Pain has eyes on Mars, and Mars does not have the courage to go into that bush.
Gathering around 5-0 formation. They're not leaving here without a fight.
Oh, look at that. One more time, the Wild Blood comes in. It's not going to be enough to save Kiwi, and now it's going to be Nikki, the one that's going to be receiving fire from left and right. Jin is going to come in. It's going to be the initiation by Bien, but Nikki is going to run away.
Well, this is bad from Team Sri Lanka. They're losing the team fight, they're losing the neutral objective, and right now losing one more outer turrets on the bottom side of the map, which means that this Gongsun will be basically everywhere. He will not be restrained on the bottom side. He can go whatever he want to go, to the mid, trying to tear down the turrets, to the top, trying to rotate and trying to assist Bawadi better. So yeah, this will be a huge question for Team Sri Lanka.
Things start looking a little bit harder and harder as the time passes for Team Sri Lanka. Right now, Team Jordan with full control of the game. They've got already a 3,000 gold advantage in only 5 minutes of the game.
I really think like Team Sri Lanka is playing this game too passively, you know? You need to fight back. You need to find out the perfect like fighting back strategies. You are not just simply letting your opponent take in everything they want, right? They go here, they engage and initiate, and you lose. You go back to your base. It's kind of working. You need to find some opportunity to fight back.
Oh, Abu Yusef is going to force Nikki to use his ultimate, but it's going to be one more takedown for Team Jordan. Nothing that Nikki could have done in there. You know, he's going to sacrifice himself just for Kiwi to be able to run away.
If you're facing 3,000 gold deficit, you'd better let Lam to solo take in the waves on the top side, and you let Athena to the frontliners.
Yeah, exactly. Athena's still stuck over there in the confronting lane.
Yeah,
has not been able just to be freed down. Right now, you need to let that turret go. Just let that turret go and then just come and join the team, because things are starting to look already out of control.
Because Lam is those kind of hero he really needs to farm up so fast. So you can let like Lam to farm up in the top side. Doing solo farming up, nobody is gonna like disrupt.
No one is gonna try to take Lam on a 1v1 or a 2v1 right over there, right? Like, because of Lam's passive, like Lam's always gonna have the advantage in there. But you just mentioned Lam needs time, and time is the one thing Team Sri Lanka does not have right now. Look at that, 3 people coming one more time. Athena is going to be stunned. He's going to have to proc his ultimate to run away. He still wants to defend this turret. He's going to be facing 4 members from Team Jordan. The turret is going to fall down. The Sky Splitter is going to be wide. Athena trying his very best to survive, but it's going to be useless as Team Jordan is going to take one more.
Team Sri Lanka still trying to struggle in this game, trying to find out what they can do about this, because Team Jordan's members are everywhere. They're rushing into the bush. They're trying to take the blue and the red both away from Team Sri Lanka.
Stun one more time. Nick is going to be forced to use his ultimate. Jin is in a great position. The Blazing Brilliance comes in, but it's not going to take anyone down. Hagar is going to proc his ult, trying to force Mars against the wall.
Wow. If Team Jordan is facing this kind of very huge, like massive gap of the gold, like this Kali, the ultimate from Kali will be very hard to counter from Team Sri Lanka, because that ultimate it will be a very long range ability, so you cannot just simply get in touch with Kali that easily in this kind of game.
And Kali already has 2 items.
Of course.
2 magic damage items that allows already Hagar just to have a lot more damage.
Wow. 5.4k for the personal income for Gongsun Li. This Gongsun Li will be a huge problem.
Everyone right now from Team Jordan is going to be a huge problem for Team Sri Lanka. Every single one of them have an absolute gold advantage. Abu Yusef is going to use his Sky Splitter against Easy. Easy's going to try to push him back. It's going to come down, and it's going to be the first takedown for Team Sri Lanka.
Will this be the turning point from Team Sri Lanka, because they finally have the very first takedown to their side?
We saw it just how it was for the other team in the previous game. There's just that one first win that you need.
Overly committed, right? Abu Yusuf going too far, too deep.
Didn't need to. If you already have an advantage, just by allowing yourself just to be taken down by the opposition, gives them way much more gold than what you would get just for taking them down.
Well, this might actually be the opportunity for Team Sri Lanka when right now they're getting the Overlord. Everything is getting better for their side.
Now look at that Thane already with vision. He can spot that's going to be Tranfei, Mars, and Kiwi, the ones that they're going to come here for the bush.
Oh, Bawadi is staying in this bush for a long time. If Team Sri Lanka's members step one step closer to the bush, there might be a danger.
Let's see. Abu Yusef's cleaning the jungle, taking the resources away from Team Sri Lanka. He's going to take these 2 minions and the pressure is going to be put down on the second turret.
From now on, I think Easy really needs to change the duties with Athena. So Athena can join to the top lane, trying to initiate, trying to open up the vision for Team Sri Lanka, and Lam will be responsible to push the wave further.
Athena needs to start joining right now Kiwi and Nikki.
Team participation.
And he needs to get in the formula. If he's not part of the formula, it's difficult for Team Sri Lanka to try to win the fights. Look at that. Abu Yusef one more time with the Sky Splitter is going to force Kiwi to use the dash to run away, taking damage not only from Kiwi, but the turret. Easy comes in one more time. Takes in Abu Yusef that uses his Sky Splitter to run away of that.
Wow, that's a close one. Because using the passive from Zhao Yun will be giving you a tankier body, so you can absorb more damage when it comes to solo fights, or if you are chasing up by your opponents.
That's one of the reasons why Abu Yusef is just being so aggressive, right? Like he just jumps in with his ultimate and tries his very best just to suck in damage and to deal damage at the same time, knowing that he's tankier than his opponents.
Like Zhao Yun have 2 dashes built in his abilities. So flexibility will be offering like Abu Yusef more confidence and aggression when it comes to actual gaming plays.
Look at Athena one more time over there on the top part of the map. Trying to clean the wave, but
he's staying there for too long.
It takes him such a long time to clean that. That needs to be changed. Finally, the turret is going to fall, and hopefully that's going to liberate him a little bit more.
Yep. Team Jordan is trying to use this Shadow Behemoth.
See this, Team Jordan engaging for the Shadow Behemoth. Already down to 10,000 HP points. Bien, that's going to push back the whole Team Sri Lanka on its own.
I think the vision is good, like well provided for the entire team, right? But Wadi and Bien are doing the same time. Ensure that like Team Sri Lanka's member cannot get closer to the Behemoth.
Look at that, Abu Yusef that is going to force Athena to run away. Bien has eyes on him, but he's got eyes on Easy as well. That blue buff is just still going to be protected by Easy.
Just simply using this ultimate to chip away those HP bars from the opponents. That easy.
Let's see what's going to happen right now. Abu Yusef has total control over the resources from Team Sri Lanka. But at the same time, even though the gold advantage is still in 5,000 and a little bit more of gold, it looks like Team Jordan is not being that much superior as it was in the first stages.
Oh, Baichi maybe waiting for the right moment to dive in, but right now, Nikki will have the ultimate. Like both ultimate, if these kind of both ultimate are ready, I think Team Sri Lanka really needs to start to engage before this gold deficit will be getting like wider.
Did you see a clear point in both strategies from Team Sri Lanka and Team Jordan comes down to how the tanks or how the top laners are actually just most of the times in charge of pushing the lane instead of just allowing that job to become the junglers. It's something very clear that both teams have as a common strategy point.
I think what Team Jordan needs to do right now is using Kali's ultimate, trying to tape out and trying to make sure the frontliners will not have enough HP to get the vision for Team Sri Lanka. And right now, the next step will be they're waiting for the dragons, right? They're waiting for the neutral objective to be revived again so that they can use the Overlord or the Behemoth trying to get more advantages to their side.
20 seconds for the Overlord to spawn, and right now it's the moment for Team Jordan to clean the wave, allowing them a little bit of a priority over that Overlord that's coming in 10.
Thing is giving the blue to Kali, which means that the Kali will have shorter cooldown.
Yes,
And the ultimate
exactly.
will be everywhere.
Oh, Blazing Brilliance comes in, and Yusef that is going to jump in. He's going to respawn thanks to Bien. Bien that stunned one person. Angela is going to fall. Bien is going to fall as well. It's going to be a 1-to-1 trade. Athena is going to make it a 2-1 trade for Team Jordan.
Wow, no man is down from Team Jordan, but they magically have 3 man takedowns from the side of Team Sri Lanka. And now after this skirmish happened on the bottom side of the map, they can go to this Overlord and nobody is there to stop them.
They've got green light on this Overlord. Team Jordan is going to take control of it. And right now it's going to be at least 20 more seconds that they're going to have a power play and a numbers advantage.
You know, with the help of the Boiler's ultimate, they they can really initiate this easily.
Sure.
You know, they have a lot of rooms to make mistakes because they can use the revive all the time.
Yes, exactly. Look at that. Minion waves in mid lane and confronting lane coming in and crashing at the same time. Team Jordan is not going to try to push, but they decide just to be a little bit more safe and just first clean the jungle, get more resources, and solidify an already 9,000 gold advantage.
I think one good news from the side of Team Sri Lanka will be like their archer, like Sun Shangxiang,
Yes.
is not that far behind when it comes to personal gold. So the damage is enough, but the actual question is, well, they have enough time and environment for this archer to deal the damage.
Exactly. The burst damage coming in from Sun Shangxiang is going to be on. But at the same time, who's going to protect Sun Shangxiang in the moment that just jumps in to try to take down someone?
Yep.
And who can Sun Shangxiang take down with one canyon? Who can take down? Only Kali in this moment.
I mean, Sun Shangxiang is facing the fact that this Zhao Yun and Thing are always targeting. Wow, solo kill might be happening on the top side.
Right, he thought that he was tankier than what he actually is. Both dragons are gonna come in. That turret is going to fall. Angela is going to be stunned down, taken down as well. It's going to be bad news for Team Sri Lanka, as Team Jordan right now have the opportunity to finish the game. The dragons come in. It's gonna be a triple takedown for Thane, and that's gonna be game. Congratulations go to Team Jordan.
16 minutes, 19 seconds will be needed for Team Jordan to finish this match too. So yeah, very good beginning. I would say 2-0. That's a complete victory to their side. And as the very first match to kick off the road to Asian Games 2022, I think their performance is good enough.
Oh no, of course.
Good enough. Yeah.
I would give both of them 100 points in terms of performance.
Of course.
Both teams did amazing. Both teams, Team Sri Lanka better a little bit more in the first game, but in this second game, it was completely for Team Jordan.
Yeah, I think they're losing their confidence, right? Maybe it might be a result because they're losing at the very first match and they're leading, obviously. So there will be a huge, how to say that, like a huge bump when it comes to your personal confidence.
Of course,
you're
because
supposed to win, right? You're feeling yourself.
Team Sri Lanka had it in their hands at the beginning of the first game, and then just losing that first game advantage is a slap on the face.
It's a,
and
like
it's very
roller
difficult
coaster.
to come back from that.
You really need to spend some time to revive back as your mentality and your confidence, right? Yeah. So yeah, I think they will have some time. To build up.
They will have time, and again, as we just mentioned, there's 6 days.
Yes.
Not only for them to come and perform
really
and just to be on the stage playing, but for them just to come and just literally just check and take notes of what the other teams are doing. 6 days where everyone can just take notes on other people's strats. Take them, know them, analyze them, and apply them to yourself.
I think Team Jordan, they are changing some kind of draft. They're changing the composition, but the whole rhythm stays really well, really heated, I would say. And Gong Li is doing so well during the laning. He basically forced out a flash out of Sun Shangxiang. So Sun Shangxiang is facing a lot of stress starting from the very first seconds when it meets like Gong Li during the laning phase. And Gong Li is constantly getting 2 lanes of the personal gold. We can see the middle lane, we can see the bottom side, the farming lane. So I think that Team Jordan have a very solid understanding of the entire game. They know exactly what they need to do when they have this kind of fixed composition to their side.
Oh, Come on, and at the end of the day, that's the one thing that you want to do. You need to give the spotlight to one hero.
Yes.
There needs to be a core in your composition. If that core is going to be your archer, or if that core is going to be your jungler, you need to make a clear decision on that. And then in the first stages, protect him or protect her, and then just let them farm. Let them build gold. Start collecting, and the items need to start coming in early if you're going to be the core of the competition. If you're not going to be a core, or if you have multiple cores, well, you're asking for 15, 20 minutes games.
Yeah, this will be the thing that we constantly talking about during the game. I think for Team Sri Lanka, the most important thing to do is that you need to know what you will be doing when you have the certain heroes setting up to you. So if you have a Baichi, it's a very perfect hero. He have a very tanky body.
Yes.
He can initiate that suddenly at the very late game because you have enough time to mock your enemies and trying to just fix the enemies and opponents there and waiting for the following damage from your teammates. But I think
the mobility is not there.
the Baichi is staying on the top side of the map for too long.
Yes.
He can just give those waves to whoever needs the gold more, who will be
That's
long,
it.
right?
And that's it. You just need to sacrifice your gold for the team. You sacrifice your gold for the team. You allow your jungler, you allow Lamb. Like you chose a Lamb as your jungler. Allow Lamb just to come in, take the resources from the jungle, come in, take the resources from your minion wave, and then Lamb's own damage is going to be online earlier in the game. And you don't need to be trying to push.
Yeah, we are talking about a lot of different gold deviation strategies and formats. So if you are choosing a warrior and a warrior jungler, I think you can stay online all the time, right? You need the resources, you need the gold intake, right? But you are basically choosing assassin to pair up with a tank. So you need to sacrifice those gold, those waves to your assassin, and you should like shift your position from the top to the mid earlier.
Something for Athena to try to think about, and hopefully it's going to have a better performance in the next time, right?
Yes,
Like everything that we say right over here, everything that is critique, that is our own opinion, it is just for the best of the players and for the best for the viewers, because I know that right now there's people at home that they have opinions that they might be the same as ours, they might be different, but at the end of the day, it just comes down to the understanding. Your own understanding of the game and their own understanding of the strategies.
Yes, and sometimes I think you need to change your strategy because you have to adapt to whatever is going on in the actual games. Sometimes before you get into the map, your basic understanding of the composition will be like this, but something weird will be happening during the game.
It's a fluid game.
Yeah, you really need to change as the time goes by, right?
This was our first game. Very satisfied with this victory. Team Jordan is going to take the first point. That's going to be 1 point for Team Jordan. Sadly for Team Sri Lanka, they're still going to be in 0. But both of them, they still have more games coming ahead, right?
For Team Sri Lanka, this will be the only game they have, the only match for today. But they have a lot of time to revive, to trying to communicate more, trying to figure out what they can do better in the game, and wait for tomorrow's game to kick off.
Yes,
it's that easy. But like for Team Jordan, they will have their next battle ready for the second one.
Of course, Team Jordan is going to be facing Team Nepal right after this one, right?
Back to back.
It is going to be a day full of electrifying competition, for sure.
Hello guys, welcome to the interview. Here we go. We're going to have the Team Jordan, Roma, Riaz here. Please say hello to the audience.
Hello, how are you guys? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, congratulations for the first winning. 2-0 clean and clear win the first game. So how do you feel right now?
Like, to be honest, it's so fun. And this stage, we played very good. And we got 2-0. Like, it was very good.
Yeah, absolutely happy right now.
Yeah,
okay?
of course.
So the second game you played with the Boiler, is that your best hero you played in the Roma?
Yeah, that was the Alchemist,
Is there some other heroes you are good at?
Yeah, it's one of my best heroes, to be honest. But yeah, there is another heroes, but that will be my secret.
Oh, that's your secret. Maybe we can see another heroes on the stage. We're looking for that.
Of course.
Yeah, the next team you gonna against with the team Nepal. So you're ready for this?
We are ready, of course. We trained in the hotel, and we are ready for this game. And I think we're gonna get 2-0 again.
You're gonna
Yeah.
get 2-0 again.
Yeah.
What a confident like
Yeah.
that. Okay, so this is your first time to Macau?
Yeah, this is my first time.
First time. How do you
Yeah.
feel about this city?
Like, I try to walk in the streets. The city is awesome. The buildings, engineering of the city, like it's so amazing.
So amazing.
Yeah.
So what about the food?
Yeah, we from the Middle East, like we have another taste of the food, but when we tried it, like it was very good. Like, yeah, we can eat it so good.
Yeah, so delicious food. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So congratulations again. I hope that you can relax and have a
Yeah.
good preparation for the
Thank
next game.
you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
See you later.
Thank you, Jacob. That's very interesting.
I love this guy, man. Like he's so funny. Like, he comes and he's like, "Do you have any other heroes?" And like, "Of course, yeah. That's my
Yeah.
secret, though. I'm not
Uh-huh.
telling you right
You
now."
know, I think he's planning on getting us more, but
Yeah.
you know, after a few seconds of like thinking deeply, oh, that's my secret.
Probably. I
Oh,
don't
I
want
cannot
to say
tell
that
them.
out. And let's put the spotlight back on Vian, because the truth is that for me, he was one of the high points in both games for
Yes.
Team Jordan. Like what he did on that boiler, he was always there.
Yeah.
He was taking damage, and at the same time, he was always there to respawn, just to use his ultimate at the right moment.
And let's see their confidence, right? They're doing a back-to-back going against Team Nepal at the very next match.
Yes.
But he like feeling himself completely. I think the atmosphere and the confidence are just there, lying down there. So hopefully they can do a better match, maybe.
Yeah, totally. Look at that. Like from here, from the highlights from the game that we can see, Vian was everywhere. Like
Yeah.
he was really everywhere. That boiler was always at the beginning, always starting the fight. He comes in with the third hand, allows the stun. Angela is going to disappear, and then nothing that Team Sri Lanka could have done in there.
I mean, he's obviously very busy. He has a very tight schedule because, like, from the very first time, you're
Yeah.
seeing they're doing the rotation from the bottom to the mid, trying to make sure Gong Sun Li can have the maximum amount, the personal gold,
Yes.
right? But who is taking care of this Gong Sun Li? Gong Sun Li cannot just solo going everywhere. It's too dangerous. He will be paired and assisted by Boiler. So Boiler is opening up every bush and every vision for Gong Sun Li. That's the reason why the key main purpose that Gong Sun Li will be this kind of aggressive in early game into the mid game.
Yeah.
It will be wholly responsibility for Boiler. So yeah, Vian is really doing a great job.
A lot of times the archers and junglers take the spotlight just because they're the ones that they're supposed to be
They work
taking
in
down
pairs.
the opponents, right? But at the same time, there's no good team in this game without a strong support.
Wow, that all the super player will be awarded to Bawari again. Fame.
To all the Super A player for Bawadi today. He's gonna go home happy. Two of them for him. Great performance by him. Like, look at that. He took down 5 opponents, 4 assistants. He was sucking in so much damage as well.
I think Bawari have a very good understanding of the top laner.
Yeah.
So the top laner, you need to switch different gaming style and gaming mode as well. So
Yeah.
starting from the early game, you need to take care of the wave, of course, and you need to go to the mid, trying to be the top side, the top laners to the entire team. You need to take care of the vision. You need to initiate, and this Thang player, he's not getting taken down entirely, like 504, right? His initial initiation, all the time he used initiation skills, trying to open up the team fights, and he also used the ultimate with the flash to
Yes.
get one more takedown from Angela, I remember.
A lot of those strategies that Thane can have because of the mechanics of this hero, right?
I think Thing is half tank, half
Half
warrior.
warrior.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the double.
The damage that Thane can deal in this version of the game just makes it completely outstanding.
Super OP.
Top tier.
Super OP.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Right now, we're going to take a little break, and then we will be back with Team Jordan against Team Nepal.
关闭外来的杂音，找准内心的节奏。奥迪 Q4 一创，让真的感受从开始才开始。